Hey everyone, welcome to this live session by Intellipaat. I hope you guys had a beautiful day today. Well, before we begin with the session, make sure to hit that subscribe button and the bell icon so that you don't miss any further updates from us. Alright, on that note, let us get started out with the agenda today. To start out with, let us quickly check out all the trends in data science today. And after that, we can understand the prerequisites that goes into place when we have to learn data science. After we've understood that, we can check out the learning path through which you can become an expert in data science. After understanding the learning path, we can check out some of the sample job descriptions to check if our learning path and the requirements match with those job descriptions. And after that, of course, we'll check out the average salary that a data scientist gets in today's world. And at the end of it, I'll make sure to guide you guys on the quickest path possible to become data scientists. Alright guys, to come to the first point of the agenda, it's what's trending in the world of data science right now. Well, here's a very simple Google Trends picture for you guys, and from the graph you can pretty much see that right from the inception of data science, all those years ago until now, until 2019, 2020, all you can see is a very steep and a steady increase in the graph. Well, to me and to all the enthusiasts around the world today, this means only one thing. It means that data science had a very strong foundation in all of these past years, and now it's going to see nothing but a raise compared to all those previous years and those previous numbers that we've been seeing. And this directly correlates to it becoming a $1 billion industry very, very soon. I mean, of course, there are already top companies in today's world who have invested everything in their power to make sure they leverage data to be the best. And these graphs do prove the same. And the best thing is that nowadays, with the help of data science, there is more emphasis given to the actual problem solving procedure. See, data science came into the picture when there were certain problems which needed to be solved and people were hunting for a solution. And now, since data science is far away from its inception and it is pretty much deeply embedded in every company, the employers now face a situation where they can put all of the manpower, all of the energy into actually solving the problem rather than understanding what they could have done, or pretty much to see if the data was useful or useless. They're beyond all of that now. Pretty much ensuring that you put greater emphasis on problem solving will relate directly to increased profits, increased revenue, and of course at the end of the day, better efficiency for the company overall. Coming to the next point, it's pretty much understanding that artificial intelligence has been implemented so subtly these days that we don't even notice it's there anymore, right? So think about it. When you open your smartphone, when you unlock your smartphone, there's artificial intelligence working. When you say hey Siri, when you say hey Google, all the way to opening Google Maps, using Google Translate, Tesla's autopilot system, or whatever it is, pretty much there is a huge rise in the AI driven systems in today's world. And this at the end of the day increases all sorts of design complexities as well, because when you think about it, it's not really simple to achieve artificial intelligence. It requires a lot of data, and when there is a requirement for a lot of data, it comes with the task of pretty much handling all of this data at every point of time. So here is where again the world looks to data science to ask for its help. And when we have to talk about how AI is being again put into our lives, think about robot intelligence, think about any form of artificial intelligence that makes it easy. Everything from Roomba. Roomba is basically the housekeeping robot which pretty much goes around sweeping your houses as well. So all the way from that to right to bringing it to your watch, to bringing it to your necklaces and whatnot, artificial intelligence is right there to pretty much be implemented in our daily lives in all of these low cost low powered devices. For example, a smartwatch battery, many of the companies do say that they can last 20-25 days, and of course to achieve this they have to use low power. And then to use low power doesn't mean that they're compromising on stuff, right? At the end of the day, it's very intelligent, or even the most simple smart bands of today. So once we understand all of this, once we know that data science is the thing right now, data science is the future right now, and of course I would urge all you dear viewers to pretty much jump on this trend train to make the best out of it. It can be a career, it can be those dream jobs that you guys are looking for, or if you're just enthusiasts who are willing to learn it in a very dedicated way, this is the right time to get into data science. And on that note, what are the prerequisites that are put into place for you to get into data science? Well, the first question I get asked every time we talk about data science or helping anyone, helping a nascent member in this pretty much technology to get into data science, the first question I I get asked is them asking me, hey, how important is my degree? I'm coming from a financial background, I'm coming from a banking sector, I'm coming from multiple places which might not be computer science per se. So, what is my scope in data science? Well, guys, as you can see on your screen right now, I've put out three of probably the world's biggest companies right there. Everyone from IBM, Google, Apple, Tesla, Bank of America, Hilton. Well, all these guys have stopped looking at people in their degree perspective. So what I mean by this is when they're hiring, degree is no longer a criteria for these guys. So you might be wondering, okay, if they're not looking at degree, then what are they looking at? Well, let me tell you this. If they're not looking at your degree or where you're coming from, they would of course need another way where you can prove to them that you're actually good at what you do and for the role that you're applying. This comes with you generally, your knowledge, your learning. You might be a person who's working a finance day job, and at the end of the day or at night, you might be a very hardcore coder who's pretty much putting in all of the hours, all of the efforts to actually get yourself a name in the world of coding. Well, if you're one of these guys, or if you're interested to be one of those guys, or in general, even if you don't have a degree related to computer science or mathematics, it doesn't hurt in today's world, because if these big companies, in fact even the startups, have pretty much gone the same route now. They really don't care if you have a degree or not. All they want to see is if you have the skills to take on the job and how well you are at what you do. So that comes to the question where, okay, so a degree is not that important, but of course it always helps. So what about certifications? Well, guys, let me tell you something about certifications. All these big companies, right? So when you don't have a degree, you need to substantially prove to them that you have the skills. So this can be done, pretty much using certifications, because it is one of the key documents for your resume. It is like a stamp of excellence to prove to your employer or prove to any interviewer around the world, saying that, hey, I have put in all the work that is required and I am certified by this reputable organization to pretty much do this. And at the end of the day, this directly relates to you getting hired by them, because they know if you're certified by a reputable company, at the end of the day, these guys will have an assurity that you know what you've done and that you're certified well, because you have actually done the job, put in the hours and learned everything there is to learn. And the most important thing that you need to understand right now is that this will give you a substantial increase in pay. Yes, of course, you might think that 20 to 30% hike is the usual thing that you might get away with. Well, with respect to a good certification, absolutely not. You can pretty much double up your salary right from then and there, even though you might be just jumping in the same domain, switching your career, or doing something entirely different. So guys, understand this point, that substantial increase in pay is something very important. It is there, and at this point of time, I'd like to tell all my dear viewers that I want you guys to pretty much make use of this fully as well. And of course, sometimes you will have corporate requirements which need to be cleared. For example, see, when you think about cloud computing technologies like AWS, Amazon Web Services, they do have certain examinations that you have to clear, and clearing these examinations are not really simple. So I'm sure you guys could use some training in that particular field where you're prepared for that examination. You clear the examination in one shot, and then you prove to, again, prospective employers and interviewers that you've actually put in the work by picking up a program which actually taught you end to end about what you need to do for that exam. You clear that exam, and this shows that you're dedicated, you have a structured way of learning, and much more. And so it's not all about the money or getting that right job. Ladies and gentlemen, a good certification program will give you all the knowledge that it is that you have to take, and they ensure you're working on. But the most important thing here is that you have to have the hands-on experience. You need the assignments, you need the projects, and you need everything else that will basically add to your knowledge to put on a strong foot, saying that yes, you have worked on it, and here is what I've done, and I'm good at this. So ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys really understand the situation at hand out here. It's not all about learning every time, it's about implementing something and solving the problems in today's world, and that can be done when you bring the best of both worlds with respect to knowledge and projects. So, what are the prerequisites to become a data scientist in today's world? Guys, there are multiple things and multiple approaches you can take to become a data scientist, and here's my view on that. You can start out with understanding machine learning, find out where machine learning is used, why the world requires machine learning, what machine learning actually is, and more. Because with respect to machine learning, the world is doing multiple things in today's world. It's helping so much. In fact, even in our battle right now with the coronavirus, machine learning has shown immense progress, and people around the world are leveraging that. And of course, we have neural networks as well. With respect to neural networks, they are directly trying to implement and imitate a human brain. The neurons in our cognitive brain. So pretty much we're trying to make sure we put that down to the computer, try to make it a little intelligent, make it think for itself and do our tasks faster for us. So that is neural networks. And then statistics, of course. If you're a data scientist, statistics is going to be a key thing. At the end of the day, if I have to put it in very simple terms, data science is all about bringing together mathematics and code. So ladies and gentlemen, with statistics, concepts such as probability, concepts such as correlation and much more play a very vital aspect here. And then if you have to talk about programming languages, I just mentioned, okay, so we have Python, we have R, we have multiple other languages which are beautiful to work with, and Python and R are in fact one of the top languages in today's world to learn. These languages are mostly used to go on to achieve machine learning, to achieve deep learning, to achieve good working of neural networks, and all of this correlates to what? Well, it basically correlates to achieving artificial intelligence when you think about it, ladies and gentlemen. And then coming to cloud computing, of course. So, all the computing power that comes from today's world is not exactly computers sitting at everyone's home. In a world where we're surrounded by data, in a world where we're surrounded by all of this information, it would be really tough to hoard information with respect to each and every system out there. So, the world of cloud computing helps us here. We can move all of the data to a cloud computing solution where you can have someone else manage the data for you while you have complete control over it. And as a data scientist, since you'll be seeing a lot of data, this is something which is very important, because scaling the data to the clouds, well, that's an advantage for this decade and the coming decades for sure. So let's say with respect to distributed computing, there are tools like Apache Spark which pretty much help you scale one network into multiple nodes, where instead of drawing the computing power of just one machine, you can make use of multiple machines. So at the end of the day, if you can make sure your data can be handled by multiple systems at the same time, well, of course, it's a win-win for you, your organization, and everything around that as well. So in my opinion, these 6 components form the very major foundation of the prerequisites when you have to talk about you guys becoming data scientists across the world. So guys, in your opinion, what do you think about these prerequisites? As always, let's keep this session very interactive. Make sure you head down to the comment section below and do let us know what you think about this at the same time. So on that note, alongside all of the primary things that we discussed, is there anything else? Well, of course there is. As a data scientist, you will need very good verbal skills. You will need very good communication skills, because at the end of the day, it's just not you working with data. It's you working with data from various teams across a spectrum of teams in your company. It can be everyone working with the data ingestion team, it might be the data visualization team, or whatever it is, because at the end of the day, if you have the right communication skills, you can become a good data scientist. And then team working ability, just like I mentioned, it complements to my last point, because when you think about it, team working is very important, because in the morning you can be working on how to bring in data into your company, in the afternoon you can actually be working with that data, and the evening you can sit with the team pretty much to visualize all the data and much more. So as a data scientist, you'll have varied responsibilities throughout the day, and ensuring that you can go along very well with the other teams and work with them together is a very big skill to have, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, you'll be interested in collecting data and analyzing data as well, because why else would you want to become a data scientist? Sure, it pays really well, it is the number one career in today's decade, but ladies and gentlemen, you need to have that kind of a calling towards data. You need to have that kind of a calling to ensure that you want to solve problems across the world today in a very nice way, in a very interesting way, and this directly correlates to you understanding how to collect data, how to work with data, and eventually solving these problems. Solving these problems again directly correlates to having good problem solving skills. Well, at this point of time, do not worry, ladies and gentlemen. If you do not have very good problem solving skills right now, you can be trained and of course be on your way to become a very good data scientist. Well, make sure to stick till the end of the video and I shall guide you on the same. And of course, education knowledge is only preferred. It's not a compulsion in today's world, as I said. Pretty much, it would always give you an edge. It would always give you an advantage of having a degree in computer science, information technology, mathematics, statistics, or any sort of work experience in a related field to this. Is this compulsory? Again, I'm reinforcing, absolutely not. You can get away with a good certification program. You can get away if you have the right calling for data, as I just mentioned, and pretty much, if you understand everything thoroughly, a degree is not needed. But again, it won't hurt to have one. And of course, you might be thinking, whoa, okay, that's a lot of skills, that's a lot of primary skills, it's a lot of secondary skills, what's going on? Well, ladies and gentlemen, again, the most important thing, guys, please pay attention to this slide, because this is the most important thing that I can tell you. It's all about focus when you talk about data science, because You cannot become an expert in all of the six concepts that I showed you. Then you will have to pick up something and you'll have to go through with that. See, for example, you're interested in natural language processing, you're interested in neural networks, or you're interested in data visualization. So you have to pick your focus area to work with, and then ensure that you build upon that. You start with something which, of course, you might or might not know, and then you build on it. So this calls for you understanding, of course, all of the six primary skills to a certain beginner level. But then when you have to get proficient, you need focus and you need that tunnel vision to ensure you pick up one thing and you are a master in that, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that point was clear. So with that, you might be asking, okay, so what is important as for a data scientist? Well, here is a beautifully put together image that conveys the same. See, programming tools, again, as I mentioned, Python and R are very important for a data scientist. Visualization and communication skills, as I mentioned, of course, very important. Data intuition, looking at data and understanding it, having a knack for data, very important. Statistics and mathematics, as I told you guys, it is pretty much top notch as well. And skills like data wrangling and machine learning, of course, form the foundation of a data scientist. So it is very, very, very important. So what about the skills such as software engineering or calculus or linear algebra or all of these things? Well, guys, it is somewhat important, all right. It's not like without these you cannot do any of the data science tools, or you cannot work with any of these programs. Well, no, pretty much without these as well you can become a good data scientist. But it's important, it's needed now and then, but then not really to the frequency that you might actually think. So I hope it clears with all of the prerequisites and how you can go on to attack these prerequisites and become a data scientist. On that note, let us check out the data scientist learning path on which you should take. Guys, here again, I would request all of you to pay a good amount of attention, because when you think about it, you will start with all of the basic W's of data science. Everything from what is data science, where is data science used, why is data science required, and all of those. After understanding all of that, you will check out mathematics, statistics, and you will also figure out how you can, go on to use any of the basic mathematical concepts by making use of a programming language. After understanding this, then comes the most interesting concepts, in my opinion: machine learning, deep learning, and in fact neural networks, and all of these concepts that follow, because here you will actually go on to teach your computer, train your machine to actually learn and do tasks on its own. So this, in my opinion, is very, very important in your learning path. And after that, of course, database technologies. As a data scientist, you'll be working with a lot of data, so you need to understand how to store the data, how to operate with the data, and how to eventually store it back and modify it whenever needed. So this calls for you to understand certain database technologies, and in today's world it is extremely vital for a data scientist to understand this. And the last concept pretty much is data visualization, because I've read a statistic which says that the human brain understands images 3,000 times faster than numbers or letters. Well, of course it makes sense. When you look at a lot of numbers on an Excel sheet, it might really not add up on your first look. But then when you look at a beautifully curated graph which came from the same data, it really makes a lot of sense, and that you guys can understand and take away a lot from just seeing one graph, and rather than seeing 1,000 numbers on your screen. What do you guys think? Makes sense, right? So data visualization is again a very key, very important thing out here. So to see if everything we've said is concrete, let us check out a couple of job descriptions. Here's one from Spotify, who are looking for data scientists right now. So they say that you need to have the ability to basically solve loosely defined problems, come up with insights, and pretty much drive any product development based decisions. You need to have a deep understanding of statistics, we discussed this, and you need to have experience working with real world data. Again, a good certification training program will give you all the real world data experience that you need. And of course, technical skills, as I told you, coding skills is required. Python, Scala, R, SPSS, and of course SQL is a very good analytics tools as well. Database technologies, here we go. And of course, when you think about working with statistical competence, as I told you, all of this will come in statistics and machine learning, regression modeling, A/B testing, significance testing, and much more, guys. So Spotify also say that you need to have hands-on on statistical modeling. You need to have the knowledge about machine learning, concepts such as classifications model, clustering techniques, predictive modeling, decision trees, and much more. So everything that we have discussed until now correlates directly with the requirement of Spotify. So let's try to see if we can further amplify that. Here's a job description from the people at Nike. Well, even the people at Nike believe that, as a data scientist for them, you need to be able to build some business insights for them. You need to have the skills to master all of the big data fundamentals. You need to understand how how to gather the data, how to clean the data, validate very large amounts of data on their cloud platform. Again, to work on the cloud platform, here you need the big data skills and you need the cloud computing skills as well. And they say that you need to create pipelines and production queries with their data warehousing. We discussed data warehousing and it's needed as well. And they say you need to possess the character and have continuous improvement throughout the projects by making use of concepts such as automation, process enhancements, and much more. And at the end, check out the last point, ladies and gentlemen. They say, of course, you need to create reports, visualizations for all the core app features, and in fact even marketing campaigns by making use of these visualizations, because at the end of the day your communication skills will matter here. Why? Because you'll be taking all of these technical results and concepts and explaining it to a non-technical audience, right? Guys, think about it. So all the points that we have discussed, we've put a strong footing on how you can actually go on to become a data scientist. So coming to the average salary of a data scientist, it's an amazing number. So basically a data scientist in the USA gets paid somewhere over $132,000 per year, and in India it's over 18 lakhs per annum, and in the UK it's 65,000 pounds a year. So these are just the average numbers considered by putting in all the lower thresholds and the upper thresholds as well. I mean, I have a lot of friends who earn a lot more than you see on your screen right now. But then to keep it to the scope of all the viewers, we have decided to keep in the average numbers on the screen, guys. So in fact, you should not feel dejected, because these are great salary numbers, and of course, this is the most lucrative career in today's world, which is data science. So you guys have to be very excited, and you need to keep your bars up very high to actually, understand and get to the salary. So what do you guys think? Again, head on to the comment section and do let me know. So on that note, pretty much you can be asking, okay, so who's hiring across the world if it's this popular, right? Well, look on your screen. I have tried to fit in all the companies that I can, and I did not have space to fit in any more companies in one slide, ladies and gentlemen. Every social media site that you can see right now, Instagram, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Viber, WhatsApp, Evernote, people at Android, Twitter, WeChat, Facebook, YouTube, Vimeo, Amazon. Well, I'm trying to name all of these guys. So all these guys again are hiring data scientists on a daily basis. In fact, companies in India as well, such as Edgeworth, they're an Infosys company. They have Oracle, Siemens. We have Ola, Mu Sigma, Unisys, Fractal Analytics, Ernst and Young, IBM. All of these guys are again, they're looking for data scientists. And as I told you at the beginning of this presentation, there is a huge gap in between demand and supply, because in today's world there is a huge demand for data scientists, but the supply for experts are very less. Supply for expert data scientists. So to fill all of these gaps, we are pretty much trying to get you guys on the roll to ensure you get your dream jobs. In fact, Skype, BBC, Google, Adobe, Best Buy, Apple, Walmart Labs, everyone you think of, just ensure to head to their website and check out their careers page. They will of course be hiring for a data scientist, because that is the need of this hour. That is the need of this decade, ladies and gentlemen. So what are my final thoughts on this particular session? Well, guys, as I always do, here is one particular quote which I love. So it's by a person called as Andres Dunkels, and he believes that it is very easy to lie with statistics, but it is very hard to tell the truth without it. So ladies and gentlemen, give that another read. You can lie with anything by just claiming some statistic fact, but then when you have to tell the truth, you actually need to go on to have the backing to actually prove this truth, right? Of course, this is a lovely quote for that particular reason. And my final thoughts pretty much say that this is one of the most trending jobs in today's world. So make sure you jump on this trend. See, the world is going uphill right now, the world of data science especially, and make sure that you get on it so that you can enjoy the view from the top. So it equally is as fun as having the best job as it is to have the bragging right of knowing that you have the best job and you're working actively to solve the world's problems. So guys, jump on this is my opinion and my advice for you guys. So for further learning, what can you guys do? Well, again, here's another beautiful quote: an investment in knowledge always pays the best interest. Ladies and gentlemen, you guys love this quote, in fact more than I do now. See, for further learning on any of the concepts that we have pretty much taught here, or anything else, any IT related concept, guys, head to our YouTube channel. We have a comprehensively put together channel where we have experts and researchers pretty much putting out content on a day-to-day basis. And also make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that bell icon so that you don't miss updates. But then if you're not much of a video person, if you prefer reading blogs, again we have Intellipaat blogs, where we have software architects and experts writing blogs, taking in requests, and pretty much giving their heart and soul out there through content. So guys, make sure to check out Intellipaat's blog channel. And we have the Intellipaat community as well. With respect to the Intellipaat community, we discuss anything and everything related to the world of information technology. It might be right from the basic questions all the way till the most convoluted programming question that you can think of. Well, we have people across the world helping each other out, and we have thousands and thousands of them. So, guys, make sure to head to the Intellipaat community and check it out as well. And on that note, as I promised, let me quickly guide you through the fastest way you can become experts in data science. Here is Intellipaat's Data Science Architect Masters program. This is a very well revered course, and pretty much we have almost 10,000 learners. This course has been created in collaboration with IBM, and as you can see, you will be learning a lot in this program. Everything from pretty much data science with R, data science with Python, data science with SQL, MongoDB, Apache Spark, Scala, deep learning, Tableau for data visualization, and much more. So to tell you quickly, you have 10 amazingly put together courses, over 53 projects, and 232 hours of learning, ladies and gentlemen. And you get 232 hours of highly interactive instructor-led live training. You have 104 hours of self-paced training where you can learn at your own pace. You have 253 hours of real-time projects, because here at Intellipaat, we believe that you need that experience of having the hands-on knowledge where you can actually show and use this to solve problems across the world and prove to your employer regarding your excellence in your field of study as well. And of course, we give you lifetime access and free updates to the latest version any point of time as well. 24/7 technical support and an industry recognized certificate upon completion is just an icing to the cake. We give you job assistance through our 80 plus corporate tie-ups, and we can have flexible scheduling in case if you guys are busy or you think that you cannot make time for the program as well. So we have an entire about course section with the list of all the courses that are included: data science with R, Python for data science, machine learning, and much more. So if we have to talk about the course content, well, it is a lot, let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen. So in case if you want to check it out in thorough detail, make sure you click the download curriculum button here so that you can check it out. So let me quickly walk you through one or two courses. For example, I've opened the Python for data science here, and of course we do provide free sample videos as well from the actual course, so make sure to check it out. So again, if you're talking about Python, you learn everything from setting it up, all the basic constructs, OOPS constructs. OOP is basically object oriented programming, database connection, NumPy for mathematical computation, SciPy for scientific computing, Matplotlib for data visualization, Pandas. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, as you can check out, I can pretty much keep down as well. And after that, we have industry level projects as well. See, this is a general industry, and we have projects from the telecommunication industry in this particular course in the 10 course series as well. So when you have to check all of this out, it actually adds a lot of value to your knowledge, a lot of value to your resume as well. So we have other courses: machine learning, artificial intelligence, big data, Hadoop, Tableau, data science with SAS, advanced Excel, MongoDB, MS SQL, and much more. So to again revisit on the same learning path that we discussed earlier, ladies and gentlemen, you'll be starting out by understanding Excel and Microsoft SQL and data science with R, Python for data science. At the end of the 16th week, you'll have a proficiency in Apache Spark and Scala. At the end of the 24th week, you will be proficient in AI and deep learning. At the end of the 34th week, you'll be learning SAS and Hadoop developer training, and of course at the end of it, you will be called as a data science architect master. So it's not all about certification, it's not all about just learning for that job. Ladies and gentlemen, this certification training will help you clear multiple certification examinations out there. Everything from the Spark component of Cloudera Spark and Hadoop certification, which is basically the CCA 175 certification, Tableau Desktop Qualified Associates exams, SAS Certified Base Programmers, C100 Dev, which is basically the MongoDB Certified Developer Associates exam, Microsoft's 7761 and 7762 SQL certification examinations, and much more. And at the end of it, you will be having a certification from IBM which looks very similar to this, because this certification will add lot of values when you are pretty much applying for companies. And we have a lot of tie-ups with companies such as Cisco, Cognizant, Mu Sigma, TCS, Genpact, Courseware, Sony, Ericsson, many others who value the certificate and who actually give preference to the candidates who are certified by Intellipaat, who have a certification like this, because it proves to them that the candidates have pretty much learned a lot and put in the work required as well. And of course, there are multiple reviews that our candidates leave us and our learners leave us as well, so make sure to check it out. And at the end of it, we have a comprehensively put together FAQ, frequently asked questions section, where you can get answers to all the questions that you might have. But then we understand that you might have more questions than this as well. On that note, guys, you have reached the end of the session. If you have any suggestion, any content request, or anything more, head to the comment section now and do let us know. I'll be more than happy to help you out at the earliest. On that note, I wish you all have a very nice day ahead, and thank you so much for tuning in. Goodbye.